Dark Souls is an action RPG by the video game company called From Software. They have made various Dark Souls games and other games of the likes, such as Dark Souls 1 through 3, Bloodborne, Demon Souls, and Sekiro sometime later this month. This video will be focusing on Dark Souls 3, the most recent game to be released by From Software. However, this game was released back in 2016, and they have many other projects in the makings. In Dark Souls, you will fight various bosses and moving from area to area while collecting better gear and weapons to fight the harder bosses. In this video, I will break down my top 3 bosses in Dark Souls 3 based on how you fight them and the mechanics you use to fight them. The Demon Princes are a really good boss in my opinion because they use a gank boss type fight mechanic. Other bosses in the series have not used this mechanic so well, which kind of ruined its reputation. In it is a 2-on-1 situation, but later in the boss fight they combine into one big Demon Prince. While in the first phase of the boss fight, the two princes have different types of attacks. One uses poison-based attack while the other uses fire-based attack. Depending on which demon you kill last will affect what the big demon they become in the final phase will use. This boss fight always has you on your toes because it's making you think that it's a 2-on-1 whenever you just want to focus on one of them at a time and work through it slowly. Abyss Watchers is a really cool boss and it is an amazing intro cutscene. It is also a really good boss that uses the gank mechanic just like the Demon Princes, however it is different because it is a 3-on-1. As you continue to fight the boss, you will keep on summoning multiple of his undead legion, which one of them will be neutral, who will either attack you or the boss, which can help in your situation, however it can be detrimental to you if it turns on yourself. All of the people that the main boss summons have a separate health pool than the main boss. Whenever you finally kill the first boss, he will be revived, however his attacks are now imbued with fire. But in this phase it's a 1-on-1, so no one else can join the fight. This boss uses all of these mechanics really well and uses them to its advantage. It also is the best example of a gank mechanic in any of the Dark Souls games. The number 3 place was a really hard pick to make because the Dancer is a really cool boss fight that uses mechanics really well. The reason it did not make the top 3 is because the second phase of the boss fight is very repetitive, and all the Dancer does is just spin in a circle, which gets really annoying after the 3rd playthrough of the game. Dark Eater Midir is from the Ring City DLC. The main issue with the DLC is that getting to the bosses just feels like a chore, and it's not that fun to get to the bosses. However, whenever you finally do reach the bosses, it is really fun. Dark Eater Midir is a really refreshing feel in the DLC, because you encounter him in the DLC up until you fight him multiple times. His attack patterns are really cool and are a really good mix-up from other bosses. He is also one of the hardest bosses in the game because he has a massive health pool and does lots of damage. Some of his attacks are he breathes dark imbued fire, and he does various charge type attacks. This boss is a really challenging boss, and it's an extremely interesting fight. I would recommend buying this DLC just for the boss fight, but there are many other bosses in this DLC that have this feel of refreshingness. Thank you for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video I made over Project Week.